Hello and welcome back to Courtside. I'm Andrew Cohen, joined alongside by Mike Randall, Sam Posman. How you guys doing today?
I'm doing great.
Doing well. It's been too long.
It has. I've missed you on the podcast, Mike.
Thanks, Andrew. I'm sure our listeners have as well.
I'm positive. Now, we're currently watching Monday Night Football. It's Rams at Niners. The Niners just made a field goal, go up 17-9, just at the start of the fourth quarter. So we'll keep you updated as we go.
Not for nothing, Andrew and I are staring down the barrel of a 5-0 finish to our betting week.
We are.
Oh, you want to talk about
No,
betting?
we don't want to talk about
we,
betting week.
Next episode, we will get into that.
We will start adding spread discussions.
Yeah.
There will be some.
Not encouragements,
Not
discussions.
No, just discussions.
We don't even have money on this. This is just
No,
pure
we don't.
bragging
Just- we
rights.
don't.
This is just pride.
But one quick thing to note is that there will be multimedia access through photos of our week selections before and after on viewable on our Instagram.
On our
if you're
Instagram,
interested
at
in
the
that.
Courtside podcast.
New logo.
New logo.
New logo.
New logo looks great.
Same brain trust.
Looks
Indeed.
great.
Now, there's a lot of NFL stuff we could talk about, but last week I mentioned the year of Russ, and we've had, obviously, Russell Wilson's playing football. They lost this weekend. What can you do? But we've had some developments on the other Russ, as in Russell Westbrook. Mike, would you care to explain?
They make me do this so regularly. So apparently, the Lakers have had the opportunity and strongly considered, I believe was the quote from Shams, trading Russell Westbrook, 2 unprotected first-round picks in 2027 and 2029 for Buddy Hield and Myles Turner, which, were they to do so, takes them from fringe playoff team bordering, they're 1 or 2 injuries away from disaster, as we saw last year, to what I would consider a legitimate championship contender. I don't know how the favorites would stack out in that conference. It depend on health a little bit. But if you put LeBron James and Anthony Davis, you add in a shooter in the place of Russell Westbrook and Buddy Hield, you add in a versatile paint defender and stretch big in Myles Turner, you solve pretty much all of the team's issues in one fell swoop. You get rid of Russell Westbrook, which should be priority number 1. I don't know why it's not.
Because
There have been opportunities to do so. You add 2 floor spacers and a defender. And Anthony Davis doesn't have to play the 5, which he doesn't like to do, and he thinks leads to him getting banged up. So, in terms of winning now, it's the ultimate win-win move. You will not find a better trade out there for Russell Westbrook. And the Lakers want to see, quote, how it gels between a point guard that is headed downhill fast, nothing about his skill set fits the current roster. Also, the current roster just, frankly, is devoid of talent outside of its top 2 and desperately needs more NBA bodies and high-caliber NBA role players to fill in slots. Holding on to some pipe dream that Russell Westbrook will work out when you have the opportunity to add 2 legitimate veterans who can contribute in areas that you desperately need contributions. Unless there's some 7th grader I don't know about who's like the next LeBron James, the Lakers are hoping to nab with one of those picks. I don't get it. I think if you have a LeBron James averaging 30 points a game on your roster, you should be trying to win championships. But hey, that's just me. That's just me.
Andrew Cohen.
Yeah.
Tell us why it's the year of the Russ.
Well, it's the year of Russ because Russell Westbrook is going to have major positive contributions to the Lakers roster this year. And I'm sensing a rebound from the Lakers this year. They missed the play-in last year. And I think Russ is going to lead them back to the play-in at least.
Russ is going to lead them back into. It's an important distinction to make.
It is, right?
It will be Russ that leads them
Well,
back.
so here's what I'm saying, right? How well did LeBron play last year?
Quite well.
Quite well. Do we expect Anthony Davis to play more games this year?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. We'll say he plays a few more. Where's the key contribution going to need to come from on the roster?
Patrick Beverley and Dennis Schroeder with Russell Westbrook watching from the bench.
No.
Give me any mixture of G League level NBA talent over Russell Westbrook on that Lakers team right now.
Russell
I
Westbrook.
have zero faith in the newly constructed jump shot. It's garbage.
It is going to be a rebound year for Russ. Is what it's going to be. Listen.
Yeah, he's going to get a lot.
It wasn't a good year for him last year. I'll admit. But this year's going to be different. And I think there's been so much going on, so much media noise, and I think he's just going to put his head down play basketball, ball out. The backcourt of him and Patrick Beverley has me very excited for so many reasons. And then you put him with the second greatest player of all time, and LeBron James.
You forgot. You said second by accident. I think you meant greatest.
Well, I was talking about Anthony Davis, and LeBron's like fourth, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, of course.
I feel like they're, you know what? They could even sneak in above the play-in. Depending with how well I expect Russ to play, with how well I expect Russell Westbrook to play, and they do have a fella named LeBron James on the roster.
They do, just a guy. So a question for you then, Andrew.
Okay.
He averaged 18, 8, and 8 last year with 4 or 5 turnovers a game. What roughly would you want to see Russ slash within a certain role to feel comfortable about his contributions to the Lakers? Because I don't want to see him average 22, 9, and 9. If that happens, I think the season's going downhill fast.
So listen, I don't. It's not about the numbers this year, except for you mentioned the turnovers. Now, that hasn't always been his strong suit, but he's a veteran player. He's been in this league for a long time. He understands how to play the game of basketball. And what I expect to see this year is he's going to limit the turnovers. Because let's be real, some of the guys he had to play with last year, not very good at basketball. And this year, it's slightly better.
Can I just point out that the he knows how to play the game of basketball argument would be the argument that I would most vehemently disagree with in terms of he doesn't actually know how to play basketball at a level that contributes to high-level winning.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing.
Like, the thing he can't do is actually know how to play. Like, if he knew how to play basketball in a way that contributed to winning when it was time to win, there would be no issues here because that's turnovers, that's efficient shooting, that's free throw shooting. That's time and score awareness. I've played with middle school and high school point guards that had better time and score awareness than Russell Westbrook. Now, if we're expecting a year 13 or year 14 guard who's notoriously thick-headed to suddenly shift gears from a high turnover, high volume three-point shooter, low percentage three-point shooter, and a high usage, high turnover guy to an efficient corner three-point shooter, a defensive guard, and not turn the ball over, you're literally asking him to reverse everything he's been for 13 years because Darvin Ham said, pretty please, can you try to make it work?
Here's the thing. Darvin Ham has been really supportive to Russ. Ever since Darvin Ham has gotten there, he's been consistent about one thing. He's like, Russ is my guy. Part of the reports as to why they didn't make that trade, right?
That's true. They want to see how he fits in.
So to me, it sends a signal of he has a plan for how he wants Russell Westbrook to function within this team. And maybe it's LeBron has the ball more. Maybe it's Pat Bev takes the ball up a couple times, right? Let Russell Westbrook get some time off while on the court, you know?
He wants him to be a corner three-point defensive specialist.
I love that.
It's like nothing he's ever done.
Those are like the two biggest flaws in his game.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. That and the turnovers. I will say, as vehement of a critic of Russ as I've been and I am being today, if he were to do that, I will be the first person to heap all the praise in the world on him for doing something that we have not seen players of his caliber do. Players of his caliber do not make game shifts, stylistic shifts for the betterment of the team this late in their career. That's why I don't think it's going to happen because I've never seen it happen. Now, I'm sure there are a couple minor examples throughout NBA history, but for the majority, it doesn't happen to a level that allows that said player to then win a title. If he does it, I will be the first person to admit that I was wrong, to congratulate Russ. I don't want to hear, now he's playing while you're jumping back on. I will stand by my criticism until he proves me wrong, and I hope to God that he does. But
he won't.
I think you're asking for a lot, and I ultimately don't think he does. And I think the Lakers will get to January, and they'll be thinking, damn, why don't we have Buddy Hield and Myles Turner on this roster? Those two holes, were they to be filled? Maybe you're looking at a top 3 seed in the West, which is a brutal conference, instead of, man, we hope LeBron and AD play enough games to get us into the playoff and give us a puncher's chance, which is really all they have, as long as the roster's as thinned out around those two as it is.
See, and I'll end off on this. I just think the slander for Russ has gone too far. because he goes out there, he plays hard, he tries to do his job. And again, it wasn't a great season for him last year. It was not a good season for the Lakers as a whole last year. No matter what numbers LeBron put up, it was not a good season for the Lakers last year.
That is true.
I think it's just gotten out of hand at this point, and I'm rooting for him this year. And I'm expecting and hoping for big things.
I will root for him as long as he's in purple and gold. It will not sound like I'm rooting for him because I will be highly critical, but I am never going to... I did not watch a Lakers game last year hoping Russell Westbrook played poorly. Once the season was over, I openly hoped that he would be moved. Mm-hmm. I voiced my opinions that he was not fitting and it was not working and it was time to make a change. But if he straps it up or laces it up for the first game of the season in purple and gold, by all means, I'm rooting for the year of Russ. But the Lakers should be ready to shift gears fast and look at alternatives if that doesn't happen. Hopefully Indiana doesn't pull the offer. And it stands. So we'll see.
# year of Russ.
It is decisively not the year of Russ for that robot up in the Rocky Mountains, but that's a different discussion I think you guys touched on last week.
We did.
It is actually the least trending hashtag on Twitter right now. Just checked. That's confirmed.
Hey.
Year of Russ?
Yeah.
Can we get King
Starting
January
trends.
tweeted out?
Oh, that's a great...
That might get it spiked up.
We'll get that
Jason
trending.
Posman might like it.
Jason Posman.
We'll get that trending. Now, on a more fun note, the Phoenix Suns this week played the 36ers.
Something we can all enjoy talking about.
Russell Westbrook's next team.
Russell Westbrook would do some damage on the 36ers.
The 36ers, not the 76ers. The 36ers.
Yeah, you heard that correctly, people. The 36ers.
Took down the Phoenix Suns in preseason.
If you haven't heard of them, it's because you're not supposed to have heard of them.
Right. They had a dude on that team who gave the Suns buckets. Like, I forget what the guy's name was, but, man, the Suns are a mess right now, aren't they?
How did Christopher play?
Can I clarify real quick?
Yeah.
I don't even know how to pronounce the first name of the team.
Adelaide, right?
Adelaide?
Yeah.
Adelaide 36ers. They're an NBL team, which is an Australian professional basketball league, and they are not a good NBL team. They went 10-18 last year. They are a bad Australian basketball team. Phoenix played its starters and its rotation players. Not the whole game by any means, but significant enough minutes that losing convincingly to said NBL team, pretty bad look.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure Devin Booker got in a great workout after the game in the locker room.
In his slides.
Yeah, in his slides. Sure he said some cocky things here or there throughout the course of the game until he realized that he was getting his butt kicked, but...
I bet he quoted Kobe.
I'm sure he did.
Well, he tweeted out the thing of LeBron after when everyone was making fun of him.
Loser.
I saw some tweet the other day that I loved. Should be emphasized.
Emphasize.
Devin Booker is in year 8. When are we going to stop talking about him as a future NBA star? Year 8, people. Again, back to the little Russ comparison here. Guys are what they are by year 3. And they might get a little better at what they are. But they are what they are. You
at least know what the trajectory is.
Yes, what Devin Booker is a stat machine on a bad team unless he is given an established winner to head up the team. And then he can be the sidekick mercenary. He can get you some buckets. He can average 25 with Chris Paul running the show, Monty Williams setting up a good defense, and they'll win some games. But he is by no means the truck pulling the trailer. He needs to be attached to something that can drag him deep into postseason runs, where he will then come up short and the team will ultimately reach a ceiling because they rely too heavily on him for said scoring.
So what you're saying is he's not a bus driver.
He is not a bus driver.
No. He rides the bus.
He's a passenger. He rides the bus.
passenger.
He might be in the front of the bus, but he's riding the bus.
Yeah. Here's the guy. So the guy was for the 36ers.
I think they had 2 of them go
They had
off,
2
right?
of them, yeah.
What was the significance of the year 36 in Australia? Can we get into that?
By all means, you're the history guy.
Give me a second.
Look into that. But we talk about something much more fun. So yeah, Craig Randall of the 36ers.
Yep.
No relation.
Hey, shout out.
No relation, but hey.
Hey, look, big long lost cousin.
That's how I feel about Tariq Cohen.
English blood in me. They colonized over there.
He put up 35 on 13 of 21, 9 of 17 from 3, and he was taking bombs.
Dude,
he was taking bombs. And then we had Robert Franks, who put up 32 points on 11 of 26 for 10 from three-point range against an NBA team who played their starters for 20-plus minutes in this game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they feel like a team that's just kind of cooked.
They do.
They haven't gotten, yeah.
As much as we're enjoying clowning them, as Robbie Gould misses a field goal, as much as we're enjoying clowning them and having a good time crapping on some of the players we don't like, the mood around the Suns at media day was apparently awful.
It was.
The Monty Williams, DeAndre Ayton relationship is shattered. They, I think, signed him so they didn't lose him for nothing, and are probably going to panic and have to move him as soon as he's eligible, which is around January 15th, I think,
Something
because
like
they signed
that,
him this year. Things could get ugly there. Chris Paul is headed for a drop-off here at some point, right? He has a history of injuries. I don't think he's going to be able to keep it up the way LeBron did. He's just a smaller stature build. Booker, we know, cannot carry you, especially in the Western Conference, as brutal as the current one. Jay Crowder's asking for a trade. It just
Cam Johnson.
It feels like a team that had their window. They had a 2-year window. They got really freaking close the first year. They ran it back. They had a great season. And ultimately, the demons that befell them against the Bucks, which I think was mental toughness deep in a playoff series, against a great player who kept coming and kept coming and kept coming, caught up to him again. Luka punches him out, and that's the window. It happens that fast in the NBA and in pro sports.
They were sitting in their apartment overlooking Manhattan or Phoenix, looking at the water in Manhattan, not Phoenix. And they go, they're just enjoying the day. And then they make some coffee in their kitchen. They come back to look out their window. And all of a sudden, there's a new apartment building blocking their water view. And they won't admit it. But that apartment building's there.
Is it the Warriors? Is it the Grizzlies? Is it the Mavs? Is it the Nuggets? Is it the Clippers?
The window isn't it. It's a combination of all those things. The window doesn't serve its purpose.
The Western Conference just sprouted up in front of them.
And
the Pelicans feel more dangerous to me than the Suns this year.
The Wolves?
In 1836, the English first settled on Kangaroo Island in Australia.
Nice.
Thank you, Sam.
Happy to help.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we could have seen it coming with the Suns because Chris Paul's old.
Christopher.
Facts.
Christopher Paul he's old now. Devin Booker. I don't think any of us in this room really believe in Devin Booker as a future.
I just jumped
future
all over
star.
that.
Yeah,
I certainly don't.
Exactly. I don't. I don't necessarily think he's all that amazing.
By the way, I think it should be said for the basketball fans out there, the CP3 moniker, great nickname, belongs to Candace Parker.
It does.
I do not care if she plays in WNBA or not. She's a dog. CP3 is Candace Parker. Christopher Paul plays for the Suns.
Yes. Good Suns talk. Good NBA talk today.
Love a good NBA talk.
Well, there's more NBA talk for you next week.
Little Lakers frustration, little Suns dump fest.
Oh, preying on some downfalls.
I love it.
Andrew's always
I love preying on a good NBA downfall.
Yeah. Hashtag Year of Russ, guys. Hashtag Year of Russ.
At King Jammer, tweet that.
All right. How about we talk some NFL? How about we go around the league? We look at some young quarterbacks and we go buy, sell, or hold.
Are they franchise guys?
Franchise guys.
Is that what we're...
Now, that's open to interpretation.
That is.
For me, can you win a Super Bowl with this guy at the helm?
I like it.
But it can be... Is this a consistent playoff team?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some would consider Kirk Cousins a franchise quarterback.
Is this what your franchise needs right now, even?
So to me, I think there are more franchise quarterbacks than there are star quarterbacks.
That's fair.
To be a franchise, like, for example...
Okay.
I mean, we'll get into it.
I do what you're saying.
You get what I'm saying. All right. You're picking up what I'm putting down.
Itching what you're scratching.
All right. Let's start with the Dolphins. Tua.
Fins up.
Tua. Horrific situation this past week, by the way.
Yes. That's a whole nother discussion.
That's a whole nother.
That is, I think, outside of our current pay grade.
Yeah. But what do we think about Tua?
If you guys want to pay us, though,
hey.
If you want to give us a pay grade, we'll talk about it. But
outside of that,
as a volunteer podcasters, we're out of our depth.
Buy, sell, or hold on Tua?
I've been holding and I'm buying more.
Buying more.
I'm so impressed.
I have to say I was a sell before the season.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a hold. And I think I believe I predicted something along the line that would indicate I would be at a hold at this point in the year. I thought I'd do what he's doing. Just put up good numbers, look good with the weapons I've put around him. I'd be disappointed if he didn't. But he still has not shown me enough. I don't think he has the ceiling. Mm-hmm. So firmly in a hold, but he's going to have to show me quite a bit more deeper into a year. And the health is going to have to...
Yeah.
He does get banged up. He's going to have to start picking that up too for me to shift to a buy.
And the arm strength is legitimately a concern.
You're ahead of me, so I don't...
Yeah.
The arm strength
is a concern. I am also a hold on Tua. I'm kind of with Mike. I was a sell before the year. Yeah, so the Niners just had a pick 6.
Whoa, really?
Big pick 6.
Let's go. Are they
Dude, it's that freaking Troy Polamalu clone.
Yeah.
I don't know his name, but he works with Troy. He's got the hair and everything. He's made a big play
every week you mention it. Yeah.
Every game, yeah.
By the way, Sam, you took the Rams to cover. So that's awkward for you.
I took the Rams?
Yeah, you did. That was stupid of you. That was
so a porous end to a phenomenal week, we will say.
It was. Only my 4th incorrect bet against the line this week. Against the points this week.
Yeah.
So.
11-4-1.
11-4-1.
Hey,
yeah.
you and I salvage winning records, so we'll take it.
Sam only picked up 1 point on me this week. But more to come on all that.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, so I'm gonna hold on to. I agree. Like he looked awesome against Baltimore, but the week before against the Patriots, he didn't look that good.
And he only looked good against Baltimore for a quarter.
Yeah.
Now, hats off to him for said quarter, but a lot of football being played from the start of the season to the end of the Baltimore game, and he only looked good for about a quarter out of a good 7 or 8 of them, right?
Yeah.
So
that's fair.
To be determined.
To be determined. It's unfortunate he's hurt, obviously.
It is very.
Who knows when he'll be back? But yeah, hold on to it. How about we'll stick in the AFC East? A lot of young quarterbacks. Zach Wilson.
Bye. Put the mortgage on Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson's out here catching Phillies. Zach Wilson's winning football games. Zach is back, and that's back with a CH.
Football game singular.
Okay. Fine.
So
He's matched Mac Jones' tally in one game.
I'm gonna go hold because
it's not a sell.
Well, what it goes to is what we talked about a second ago, which is what's a franchise quarterback to certain franchises. The Jets need something stable and something exciting at quarterback. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. He turned it up. He picked it up at the end of last year. He played a tough game with Tom Brady. You can't ignore that. So he showed just enough at the end of last year. I'm willing to give him the rest of the season. Great start to the year this year. So I would be a cautious hold, but I do not want to pretend I am super high on Zach Wilson. But I will remain hold for the moment.
I mean, I can't. He's too young to sell.
Yeah.
But at like the first sign of trouble this year, I'm selling. He didn't look good all of last year. Part of this goes back to the draft where I thought he went too high anyways. Like, he did the thing where no football games are played, but he skyrockets up the boards for no reason. I thought Justin Fields was good. Or, I don't know what year. Yeah. Fields would have been a good pick. Mac Jones would have been a good pick. Lance. So it kind of goes back to that. But I am, like, right on the line between sell and hold on Zach Wilson. But
you wouldn't put the college fund on it, but I don't know.
No, apparently you would put the college fund on it.
Yeah, you're willing to put it all down. Have you talked to Katie about that?
Have you talked? Yeah,
with that investment?
It's a great investment.
I don't know about that.
It's not gambling if you know you're right, guys.
Okay.
Facts.
How about the Patriots? They have two young quarterbacks.
I like this one.
They have one franchise quarterback.
Brian Hoyer, of course, is who you're referencing. All right, let's go Zappy first because he played yesterday.
Bailey Zappi.
Don't make me actually give a legitimate answer on Bailey Zappi.
Bailey Zappi makes me happy.
We're doing a Bailey Zappi minute.
He might not have to throw the ball or be forced to throw the ball or be able to throw the ball that far, but he's so fun to watch and he's got a great name, and I like him a lot more than Mac Jones. Let Zappi cook. They didn't let him cook. He was cooking.
No, Sam.
He was throwing dimes. You missed the first half. You didn't watch the first half.
No, I did watch the first half. He threw like 5 passes behind the line of scrimmage, and then you texted, Zappi's really impressing me today. And I'm like, did I miss something? Are we watching the same game?
Okay, the Adler drop, that's bad. That was a great throw. on the sideline and the one on the curl route where he like threw it low and Aguilar just like whiffed on it. Great dimes. His decision making was good. He was quick to get the ball out. He didn't linger in the pocket. I was impressed by Bailey Zappi.
Pocket awareness wasn't very good.
No, it wasn't very good. It kind of lost the Patriots the game in the OT.
Okay, I didn't watch OT. I'll be transparent.
You didn't watch winning time? You didn't watch?
Oh, apparently it was losing time.
Yeah.
But I was impressed for a thrown in there in the last minute, first ever NFL start.
Yeah,
I mean,
he handled
yeah.
the moment fine. But it's beneath me to say sell on Bailey Zappi.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it because everyone knows.
I'll hold Bailey Zappi.
We're not talking about Bailey Zappi's.
So by the way, there's a point in the game, the Patriots game on Sunday. We're recording this on Monday, obviously. And there's a point during the game yesterday where Sam texts, "I'm all aboard the Zapp wagon." From that point on, Bailey Zappi did not complete a single pass. So
yeah, the Patriots also had. Oh, what was this? I saw this stat. There's a Twitter account that does like how cowardly your punting decisions are.
Okay.
They had a punt that was in the 99.4th percentile for the most cowardly punts in NFL history.
So that was the punt in OT, and no one was questioning that punt at the time because if with the third string rookie quarterback, they don't want to throw the ball and Aaron Rodgers on the other side.
You're gonna lose. You can try and get 5 yards. You're going to lose no matter what.
Were you questioning that decision at the time? I don't think anyone was questioning that decision at the time.
I was thinking you pin him deep.
You pin him deep and you hope.
Has played well all day, gets 1-3 and out.
Yeah. So that's. I don't think anybody was really questioning that decision, but I did see that tweet, and it was bugging me. That's something that was bugging me this week.
That's fair.
All right, can we get to the
Mac Jones? Mac Jones. Sam, what are you on Mac Jones?
I sold already.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I sold him once he was drafted. I
Are you
actually never bought the
serious?
stock. I've been shorting the stock. I've been preying on this man's downfall for like 3 years now.
Okay.
I've been shorting Mac Jones stock since like I got E-Trade on my iPhone.
So last week I alluded to a take that Sam had regarding Mac Jones, and I wasn't going to share it on the podcast because I thought it would have been disrespectful to Sam and his football acumen.
And you're not going to share it now because
Sam said Mac Jones was worse than Daniel Jones at football.
And I stand by it.
It's out there now.
Oh, my God.
No, I'm joking. That was taken out of context, misconstrued. Now I feel like I'm making
No, it wasn't. You said it as a blank statement.
Point blank at lunch.
There was no context. You asked me, is Daniel Jones good? I said, absolutely not. You said, well, he's better than Mac Jones.
Yeah, and then I watched Daniel Jones, and I was like, oh.
He's terrible.
I had a little Darnold syndrome with him, where I built him up to be this great second coming of Christ figure in my head. And
how? Like based on
even though we went to Duke?
And then I watched him play, and I was like,
he's so bad.
Hell am I watching?
He's not a professional quarterback.
I love when he scrambles, though. I love when he scrambles.
All right. Mac Jones.
Sell?
Let's go!
You're a hold on Zach Wilson,
Let's go!
So, I had to throw a little spice in the mix here.
Okay.
I want to preface this. This is kind of a cowardly answer.
Like not ranking Kansas. Rank Kansas.
With the player himself, I was actually impressed with what Mac Jones did this offseason. The reason I'm a sell is for two. One, the Patriot organization, their standard is Super Bowls. Now, that standard is likely in the process of shifting post-Tom Brady, but it is Super Bowls. I do not think he can elevate to that in the AFC. Now, for the Jets and Zach Wilson, not the standard. The other one, and this is the big one for me, Zach Wilson is surrounded by Breece Hall and Michael Carter in the backfield, Elijah Moore in the slot, Corey Davis, and Garrett Wilson. That's a good young group. I'm not sure the O coordinator is, but there's potential for significant growth as a group there. Mac Jones is set up not only to fail in the short term, but to stunt his development to a sense where he needs to have great anticipation, great decision making, pocket presence, on time with his throws, accurate, because he does not have the physical characteristics a lot of these other young guys have. Putting Judge and Patricia around him, I don't think does any of that. I don't think it helps his development at all. And then you factor in that not only do they not have weapons now, they seem incapable of adding weapons that he may need to further his development. So I already think he has a low ceiling. I would be willing to give him the benefit of the doubt that he could develop into a franchise quarterback that you could win some games with, maybe get into the playoffs a little bit, win a couple of playoff games with the right supporting cast, the right coaching staff, with things going right around him. with the absence of that, and a now 2-year history of the Patriots going the wrong direction under Belichick post-Tom Brady, and his physical limitations, I'm out on Mac Jones as a franchise quarterback for the Patriots standard and my personal standard, which would be playoff contention or Super Bowl, outside of special cases like the Jets, where just like basic, like fundamental competence will suffice.
Hey, Mac, I really think you're great, but the timing just doesn't work out for us right now, and I think we have to go our separate ways.
Incredible.
I'm so sorry.
Incredible. Sure, I sell the offensive coaching situation.
Yeah.
Buy on Mac Jones. He made the playoffs as a rookie. He was very good as a rookie. Now, his first
Was he
couple
very
games
good as a rookie?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. All those check down routes. Oh, my God. Look, I'm going to
He
throw
was
it.
coddled.
He was coddled. He was coddled. So, okay, he was in a good situation last year, right? And they managed him as...
And still
they're
wasn't
trying to win
spectacular.
games with a rookie quarterback. They're not just going to let him sling the ball all over the place because they're trying to win games. You can do that. You can let...
Okay, so let him sling the ball all over the place now.
We're trying to win games. It goes back to what the
That is
standard
true.
is,
That
right?
is true. The standard
they're not,
is significant
They're
here,
not the
for
New
sure.
York Jets who just want to have a good time and develop all their young guys, right? They're trying to win football games, and they're not going to...
Well, then you have an unaware coaching staff who thinks they can win football games right now.
It's Bill Belichick. He's the greatest coach of all
The
time.
greats adjust.
He's not going to adjust to lose more... This is incredible, guys.
I'm not attached to
Yeah.
his argument against Mac here. I have my own.
Yeah, you do. You do.
It's based on standard and physical ceiling and what's around them, which is ugly. in
Okay,
England.
fair enough. I think Mac Jones as a young quarterback has been pretty impressive. I think he is a franchise quarterback. Now, is he a star quarterback one day? Not necessarily.
Pro bowler.
He's your game manager. He'll be slightly better than Kirk Cousins because Kirk Cousins can't win in prime time. And
Hey, Matt Jones won the Blizzard game in prime
he
time.
never forget that game in Buffalo when he won. He did win that one in prime time. They also shut out the Falcons in prime time last year. But
Oh, whoa.
regardless, anyways,
Big defensive performance from Mac Jones.
we're gonna sell the best rookie quarterback when Zach Wilson was not very good last year. I'm assuming you guys aren't gonna sell Justin Fields or Trey Lance. I'm assuming you're not gonna sell Trevor Lawrence.
All right.
But
Now, you make good points. It is an understandably controversial sell and hold. Ceiling for me is big. I don't like that the ceiling is game manager.
okay,
Now, I could be selling Zach Wilson by week 8. I if I didn't state that clear enough, I would like to now. I am a cautious hold on Zach Wilson. That's how I would state it. I am a selling Mac Jones because of the ceiling and because of what's around him. Zach Wilson more than likely does not pan out to be a bus driver, but he has the capability potentially to do so. I don't see it for Mac. So, sell him as an competent NFL quarterback? Absolutely not. As a game manager? Absolutely not. Can you win some games with him? Sure. For me, I need a little bit more ceiling, a little bit more potential high level for a buy or sell or hold.
I need you to
And
not.
that's the opinion here.
I think
But
that's
I
fair.
understand you seeing this as a controversial pick because he was the best rookie quarterback last year when you look at it objectively.
I think you have to look like you can at least hold your own when kind of the rest of the team is flailing. And I don't think he'll ever be able to do that.
If you step on the field with the big boys in the AFC, I want you to have the ability to make some plays to change the course of a game. I
Okay.
don't think Matt can do that.
Yeah.
I think Zach Wilson, in the right situation, could. I'm willing to bail on that pretty fast.
He could do a little 2018 Wentzian, little scramble.
I think more than likely I'm selling Zach Wilson hard by week 11.
Hey, but
as
now,
of
now
we
you're
sit
holding.
here,
Now you're holding.
now I'm holding.
Andrew looked about it.
Andrew's gonna have
I've
an
never
aneurysm.
been so close to just walking out of the
Andrew's
room.
gonna have an aneurysm.
I've never been so close to walking out of the room. Are you? This is atrocious. All right, we're gonna move on.
Let's keep it rolling.
We're gonna keep it rolling.
Keep it rolling.
Little Johnny Cash act.
You held Bailey Zappi? All right,
He was kidding.
I know. But there was some truth behind that. All right,
There might have been. It is Sam.
Kenny Pickett. Buy, sell, hold. It's really early, obviously.
I'm a buy.
I'm a really early sell for the same reasons with Mac. I don't see the ceiling.
I'm gonna lie.
No.
I straight up lied. I'm gonna hold because I didn't watch the game.
You didn't watch Zach Wilson, your favorite quarterback of all time, play football on Sunday?
I actually watched the Zach Wilson highlights. I
Fake
didn't-
fan.
I at least watched
Fake fan.
I didn't watch.
important parts of the game.
I didn't watch Kenny Pickett. No, I had other stuff going on Sunday. But The thing with Kenny Pickett is he had 3 picks, which is tough. But I did see something where, like, they were all, like, according to PFF, which just lies about everything. But for this, they were not turnover-worthy plays. They were all deemed. So it seems like it's a little taken out of context, the 3 interceptions. But I don't know. It's hard being thrown in halfway through a game as a rookie. I'm empathetic to it.
So I'll state that I don't want to keep throwing cautious sell on everything, but
Yeah, coward.
yeah, that's a cowardly answer. I'm a sell because I was a sell before the draft.
That's
where
fair.
I didn't think he came in with the necessary ceiling to be what I consider a franchise quarterback, which is someone that can, at least in part, carry you through difficult moments into a postseason run. It's the same issue with Mac Jones, right? So I'm going to be a cautious sell here on Pickett. Now, if he shows me otherwise, maybe I shift to a hold, maybe up to a buy by the end of the year. But it would be hypocritical for me to sell Mac with a year's worth of solid evidence and then hold on Pickett, who I got to see some. He's got to prove something to me before I think he's going to be a franchise level, what
That's
I would
fair.
consider a franchise star level quarterback. Which is how I look at it.
I'll add one more thing before Andrew goes. I am just going to let it be known I'm a little biased towards Pickett because there's nothing I love more than the college guy staying in the same town for his NFL career.
Okay.
Okay.
I just like those storylines.
That's why I'm a sell.
Okay.
Because I think Steelers fans are going to hype him up to be too much. Because he's the hometown kid, but like going into the draft, you weren't drafting him to be the big-time ceiling guy. There's a reason he fell to the Steelers in the draft. I kind of agree with Mike. I don't see the ceiling there for him.
That's fair.
And so
I do want to state this, and I think you guys understand this, just so we're clear.
yeah,
This is not an indictment on where the quarterbacks, who's a better quarterback today.
right.
It's the future stock. Like
Exactly.
how high could they rise? Just so that is plainly out there, as Sam says that Bailey Zappi is a hold.
Yeah,
A buy.
bye,
A buy. Let's go.
bye. Trevor Lawrence.
I actually wanted to talk to you guys about this. Why do we just not hear anything about Trevor Lawrence?
He's
Like-
in Jacksonville.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know he's in Jacksonville, but is it one of those things where like he's not playing well and we just want to act like he is playing well?
He's
'Cause-
playing well.
Okay, so why are we not hearing anything about Trevor Lawrence?
because he plays in Jacksonville.
We're
and he's
hearing
been
a little more this year. I wouldn't say it's radio silence.
yeah.
Okay.
They just beat the brakes off of good Chargers.
They did.
Yeah, I'm a buy on Trevor Lawrence. I've been a buy since day one with him. I think it was just very similar to Peyton Manning's rookie year situationally. Probably even worse with Urban Meyer. He's looked, I wouldn't say great, but he's looked good. He's taken some of the steps that we wanted to see him take this year thus far. Yeah, getting a little slippery with the ball there in Philly is a little disappointing. But it's not like once he's on the star trajectory, it's a smooth road. There's still going to be some bumps, but he's elevated a Jacksonville team from the worst in football to potential playoff team this year for sure, potential division winner.
They're winning that
quickly.
division.
So yeah, so I've been a buy. I'm staying a buy. I'm a strong buy on Trevor Lawrence.
I'm gonna agree with you on this. I'm gonna go buy as well. He, I think anytime you don't look like a disaster when literally your franchise is burning to the ground, that automatically is important for him to actually look impressive last year. That bodes really well for him. Impressive in they let him throw it all out. It was the opposite of the Mac Jones situation. They said, "Go make your mistakes now. We're not going to coddle you. You can." No, that's legitimately true.
Okay.
And now he's got a coach who he's turned young, prospering quarterbacks into MVP candidates. In the past, he's won Super Bowls. He's very offensive minded, so I think he's in a good spot.
So can I just jump in? Because Andrew and I talked about this the other day, and we just want to establish something with you. You're not an Eagles fan.
You're not.
You are a 2017 Philadelphia Eagles team from the start of preseason to the end of that Super Bowl. That's your NFL team. You have no allegiance to a squad in today's world. Are we? Can you just confirm that?
I'll cheer for Philly.
I'll
cheer for Philly.
We're on the same page here.
I'll cheer for Philly.
You cheered for Carson Wentz playing Philly
I was hoping
2 weeks ago.
The comeback story.
It's literally your blood rival playing your team, and you're like, I hope the guy who had one good 3-month stretch for us 5 years ago and then literally drove our team into the ground there on out beats the future face of our franchise and an up-and-coming team that potentially is a contender this year. That's what you were rooting for.
May I address?
Sure.
I don't want to hold up too much because no one gives a crap about this. But when you think about it from my perspective, Philly's like the 5th team on my tier list of teams that I care about. Right? You've got Arsenal, you've got Celtics, you've got Texas, you've got a whole host of stuff.
I
right?
see. So the emotional investment can only be so high.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I got so high for that 1 year that I've just been riding it out.
Can't match it.
And I'm like, I had my fun. Like I get to like Jalen Hurts, kind of a fun dude to watch. So like I've been enjoying it, and I'll watch them when they're on TV.
Sounds like a bandwagon fan to me.
That's exactly what it sounds like.
No, I don't want to hear that because I was there for like the Trent Cole years and the fucking
Well, there we go.
No, it's okay.
It's all right.
We'll keep that. My apologies. I was there for
the
the
FCC violation.
and the DeMarco Murray years. No, it's
All right, fine, whatever. Andrew, buy, sell,
Yeah.
or hold. Trevor
Oh,
Lawrence,
buy.
the prince who was promised.
Bye, obviously. He didn't have a great rookie year, but
Let's go.
now I'm not going to go as far as to say he looked impressive with his 17 interceptions leading the league his rookie year. Just
I didn't even say that.
I mean, you can
No,
do,
this was-
I mean,
this
you
was
can, you
Sam.
can do eye test versus stats all day.
he did not pass the eye test last year, but it was a terrible situation. Everyone knew it.
Exactly. You didn't look like
It was the worst I've seen.
Yeah.
I've never seen a worse situation.
How does Urban Meyer do a job after?
I don't know, but
How is he back on the Fox booth?
Dude,
because it's Fox.
They just slipped
That's
him.
true. It
It's
is
Fox.
Yeah.
They
it
just
is
slipped
Fox.
him in
They
there
like
thinking we
a
wouldn't.
little edge to him.
Little sauce.
Little Tucker Carlson.
But
You see, Stephen A. went on Tucker. No, he went on Hannity, and they talked about how they're friends with each other, and then they were arguing about whose career it would be more damaging to if each other's fan base knew they were friends.
That's really funny, actually. I should find that video.
It's a great soundbite.
All right, who's up next, Andrew?
Justin Fields. I want to hear Sam first on this one.
That's a great point, actually. I'm gonna hold. I'm gonna hold on Justin Fields because we don't really know how terrible Matt Nagy was, right? And well, we do. That's the point. Is we do know how terrible he was. So I don't think it's really fair to judge a quarterback because of that. I have watched literally 0 Bears games this year. I haven't heard anything terrible. I haven't heard anything great. He has no receivers, and I pity that. He has Cole Kmet, who he isn't passing to.
Yeah, because he's not that good.
Hey, big Notre Dame guy. Cole Kmet.
All right, Mike.
I'm out on Justin Fields.
Out on Justin Fields.
That's fair.
I think at some point now, I'd be a little more comfortable with this topic around Thanksgiving, but we did it earlier. I will go out on a limb here a bit, and I will go out on Justin Fields. Some of the same reasoning behind it as Mac Jones in New England. Now, it more has to do with, I think he has some flaws as a player that are very legitimate. He's a little late with the ball, hold it a little long. The accuracy can come and go a little bit. Now, he has the top-end talent. He has the ceiling. He has the top-end talent that would indicate a ceiling like Zach Wilson. But the difference is he is in a atrociously barren organization right now. Like, we can't even, like, we harp on Mac Jones not having weapons or coaching staff support. Man, Justin Fields is going through it. So, I think it's a little bit unfair to him to get too critical about his performance. That's not necessarily what I'm doing here. What I want to more get to is I think his growth has been and will continue to be so stunted by what's been put around him that when you combine that with some legitimate draft time concerns, I'm worried he's going to be one of those players that you always look at as he could be, he will be, he should have been, and he never was. And he just kind of bottoms out as a mediocre quarterback because of what happens to him early on in his career and what's put around him. I don't think he ever reaches my criteria for a franchise quarterback, which is a borderline or legitimate star player who can in certain moments carry you through tough situations in the playoffs and take you deep. I don't ever see that happening. Partially an indictment on the player, partially an indictment on the organization, but I have to be out. I'm not buying or holding Justin Fields stock at the moment with the situation in Chicago.
I'm fair.
Yeah. I want to buy. I want to be like, I can't like actually make determination because
I would love to too.
I would love
I
to.
don't like that.
I just
that opinion.
the situation is just so bad. They have no receivers. They have no O-line.
They have a defensive coach.
They barely throw the ball. He got sacked 6 times last week, 5 times the week before. Whenever I watch him, like he doesn't. He's able to make some plays with his legs. He's not bad in terms of pocket presence.
Big time throw here or there.
Yeah.
He's got a cannon. That's there.
It's just the offensive system there and the offensive personnel is just terrible. So to me, it's just a situation where it's too early. I can't make a determination on because he has nothing there, and that's unfortunate. If he was in a better situation, he'd be a buy, but he's not. He's not.
I just want to. I think it was the stat was. I just want you guys to think for a moment. And what you guys said about him is completely fair.
Yeah.
I would really love to be a hold or a buy. I'm going to sit with the sell for now. But I want you guys to think about all the quarterbacks in the NFL who started 3 consecutive football games. How terrible some of those players are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He has the lowest through 3 weeks. Got it up a little bit against the Giants. But through 3 weeks, he had the lowest passing total for a quarterback who started and finished 3 NFL games since the 1970s.
Wow. Is that real?
That's real. 297 yards. He wasn't averaging 100 yards a game in 2022. I get it's a barren cupboard. I get the O-line is bad. I get he played in a monsoon for one of those games. I'm worried that takes a toll on him. And at the end of the day, he just can't reach his ceiling because the collective impacts of what's been around him and some flaws that are going to be exacerbated by the struggles around him, they catch up and he just can't quite reach what could have been his ceiling coming out. And it's disappointing because I really liked him at Ohio State. I wanted the Giants to pick him.
That's really damning, isn't it?
I wanted the Pats to pick him.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. 2 more real quick. Trey Lance.
I actually want to sell.
Oh, I'm selling.
Yeah,
I'm selling.
I want to sell because they thought the grass is greener. It's not. And I bet Andrew has more to say about that.
So if you guys are going to harp on it, I'm going to hold only because I got 3 things. I'll just rattle them off real quick. Big one. We haven't seen him a whole lot. Second one, he does have, much like Fields, he's got some flaws, but he does have some of the upside talent that I'm talking about requiring for my own category, whatever. The third one is we talked about system, we talked about weapons, talked about coaching staff. He is in one of the best quarterback situations I think you can be in. I know we have our issues with Kyle Shanahan once he gets to the apex of the sport in the Super Bowl, but in getting there, in developing quarterback talent, pretty damn good. So I'm going to give Trey a season or half a season, 10, 12, 17 games, see what he does in that system. I'll be quick to jump off the wagon if it's falling apart, but we just haven't seen him, and I trust what's around him enough to give him just enough that I'll hold for now.
I'm selling. So there's a couple things. Number one, there is like the narrative aspect of they got to the Super Bowl with Jimmy G, and then they traded, 2 first-round picks and their first-round pick that year to move up. And there's also something to the fact that it seemed like they were hell-bent on taking Mac Jones and then switched at the last second. There's also, though, so he didn't play football during the COVID year. He didn't play football his rookie year. He's now not going to play football his second year.
That's a very legitimate
And
concern.
Yeah.
They spent a lot of draft capital to get this guy. And I don't know. It just you don't hear great reports on him out of camp. It's really inconsistent. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. Like it just feels off. It just he's not on the field enough for me to make a determination, but also the fact that I haven't heard anything spectacular about him while he's been there. I think that just makes it a sell for me.
The thing keeping me from a sell, because I agree, I don't have any issue with any point.
Yeah.
The thing keeping it in a hold for me is purely faith in Kyle Shanahan and the organizational structure. He's talking about inserting a guy with Debo, Ayuk, Kittle, Juszczyk, great O-line. So I'm willing to play it out.
6-man O-line, one of the rare 6-man O-lines.
One of the rare 6. There's no chance. Anyways. All right, last one. Jalen Hurts of Sam's favorite NFL football team, the Philadelphia Eagles.
I was a holder for a long, long time because he replaced my favorite player. And he went to Oklahoma. And then Hurts surgence. I'm buying on Jalen Hurts. This man's just turned into an MVP candidate. He can extend plays in ways that Mac Jones can only dream about. He has the arm talent. He has the connection with his receivers. The team just plays like they have fun together, and I think that matters. He found a way to get Miles Sanders involved this past week. Even the Philadelphia coaching staff can't do that. I am all in on Jalen Hurts, and I'm proud to say it.
I would expect nothing less of you as a supposed Philadelphia Eagles fan. I'm in a hold for the same reason I'm a hold on Tua. I would hope he looked this good so far, given what's around him, given the schedule to a degree.
Best O-line in
he's
football.
beat some good teams, but great O-line, great receiving core. Miles Sanders is a hell of a back, man, if you give him the ball. So I'm by no means low on Jalen Hurts. I'm higher on him than Tua because I think he possesses some higher level physical gifts. The one thing I'll say on Jalen Hurts, and this is making me want to say bye, is this MFR, and I'm using that term purposely, is going to get better every single year because you're not outworking Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
He's getting in that freaking gym. He's on the field. He's going to get better. Whatever he can squeeze out of himself, and I think he's somewhat limited as a passer. We'll see his development there. He's going to get out of himself. So I'll stick at a hold now because he is in a situation where he should be succeeding. And I was a sell last year, or a cautious hold or whatever. I was lower on him last year, but I really want to say bye because I think the dude's a dog. And if they keep the structure around him, everything I just said about the top end talent and the organizational structure seems to be there. I just want to see a little more football.
That's fair.
Bye.
I like it.
That's it. No, just bye. Like, he's very good. He's very good. He works hard. Bye. And now it's time for Sam's send-off by Sam.
I got a little two-parter for you guys today. A little two-parter. I'm going to bore your ears off with a little bit of soccer, but you're going to love it because it's about legacy stuff. In sports.
Can you add in how Andrew can't beat you in FIFA?
I won't do that to Andrew.
Thank you, Sam.
I'm sorry I mentioned it, Andrew.
No, it's okay,
I
Mike.
hope this doesn't affect
Listen,
our relationship.
No, it doesn't. Listen, he's a 10-year vet. I'm a rookie. I'm just getting started.
Yeah, I realize this is my 10th year of playing FIFA, and it's very nostalgic.
I'm a rookie. I lock his ass up some games. I really do lock his ass up some games. It's just I have no offense.
Can I shout out King Jammer for I'm a 10-year FIFA veteran and I still get waxed by Cheeto-looking 10-year-olds with a screen time limit tweet? That was great. I saw that the other day. It made my day.
That's really good.
Friend of the show, King Jammer.
Shout out King Jammer.
We need to have him on soon.
We do.
Maybe a little NBA preview.
Perhaps.
That could be a little saucy. I'd see if he wants to drive up.
All right.
Anyway. In sports, we don't like to admire greatness when we have it. When we talk about Ronaldo, it's, well, Messi's better. When we talk about LeBron, it's, well, he's old, well, he's washed, well, he's balding.
Well, it's, well, Jordan's better. That's what some idiots say.
Hashtag the mid from Akron.
Point being, with Giannis, right? This is a guy that's clearly a top 20 player of all time we've seen. Old heads will be like, oh, you can't be doing that this early in his career. What we have right now in Erling Haaland, this Norwegian striker from Manchester City, is the capacity to find the back of the net in a way that I've never seen before. He has 14 goals through 8 games. There are 38 games in the Premier League, and last year, the player with the golden boot had 23 goals in the entire season.
I saw this. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He has scored hat tricks in his last 3 home matches. He has as many goals as Manchester United. He is bigger than the biggest club in the world. He's been scoring 20-goal seasons since he was 16. He's 22 now. This is a generational talent. He is what we thought Mbappe was. And Mbappe's great. But Mbappe's Neymar. And this guy is unlike anything I've ever seen. He's scoring acrobatic kicks that I would see in like a karate tournament. And not one to fight people, one to show how high you would kick. It's insane. It's just insane. Like,
I saw something that was like, It took him 8 games to reach 3 career Premier League hat tricks. Took Ronaldo 234.
Yeah.
And he's like the generational goal scorer of our time.
Yes. He's 6'4". He's as tall as Zlatan. He's as quick as Ronaldo. His ability to just find the net, and he gets pissed when he doesn't find the net. Like, he will adamantly yell at teammates if he's not finding the net. And not because he's mad at them. It's because he just wants to score goals. He'll be 3 in and be like, no, I want one more. It's insane. They just beat Manchester United 6-3, and he had 3 goals and 2 assists.
Oh, wow.
L'Équipe, the French newspaper that was founded in the 80s, has only ever given out 13 perfect 10 out of 10 player ratings in its entire history. They gave out their 14th last night. This guy's insane. Just by the way.
I'm glad
All right.
you alerted us to his burgeoning presence.
Plus, he's Norwegian, so it's funny.
Hilarious.
I have a list for you all.
All right.
5 faithful fellows. These are 5 athletes that the world has counted out that I am willing to hold on hope for.
Okay.
Let's see where this goes.
Carson Wentz, number 1.
Don't
No,
do that.
stop.
Just
Stop.
Just start the list. You didn't say that. Just start the list.
I have 4 faithful fellows. I have 3 faithful fellows.
No. We need to hear the 4th.
Zach Wilson's on here. Zach Wilson's on here.
Did you buy or hold? Did you sell or hold on him?
I take it back. I'm selling on Zach Wilson. I think I was like on the
Just
line.
because I put him on the list?
No, I just thought about it more.
He's
After,
mad- he's
you
mad
said
that
you
I-
said you were selling Mac Jones, and I'm like, nah, I'm selling Zach Wilson for sure. I should have said so. Anyways,
Number 3. The world actually hasn't counted this fellow out. His coach has. Kyle Pitts. Let's not be too quick to judge Mr. Pitts. He's going through a lot. He doesn't get targets, anything. I don't know.
okay.
Okay. I don't think anyone's given up on Kyle Pitts.
Yeah.
But
His coach has.
his coach is
Okay.
a jerk, man. You
Yeah.
see the whole like,
This is fantasy football.
yeah, we're trying to win the football game. It's like, well, getting the ball to your best player might help you win.
God.
You did draft him 4th overall
It is a
last
novel
year.
concept to
Yeah.
get the ball to your best playmaker, but if you were to do so, might help with the
Might
win.
help.
Just might help with the win.
I spoke to Andrew about this briefly before, but I heard the meanest thing a coach has ever said in a press conference. It was the Tottenham coach after they just lost to Arsenal 3-1. London is red. And he was asked, why did you not play this certain player? And his response was, I'm not an idiot. I'm trying to win.
Damn.
That hurts. Like, I'm retiring. Just hang up the boots, man.
Yeah.
Damn.
Number 4. His back is back. His shot isn't. Ben Simmons. This man was the best defender in basketball. Let's not... Yeah, he's soft in the head. But he's surrounded by a man who's brave enough to speak for the unspoken. And one of the best scoring forwards of all time. So I think that we should not count out Ben Simmons.
I'm in on this.
I'm all in on Benny.
I'm not all in on Benny, but if we were doing buy or sell or hold, it's a strong hold leaning on a buy.
Yeah.
I think Simmons. I think our expectations for what he could become were outpaced because everything I said about Jalen Hurts does not apply to Ben Simmons. He will not work hard. He will not shoot the basketball, but damn good basketball player. I think he's going to be that again.
Okay.
And number 5. They told me he couldn't dunk. They told me he couldn't move, but no, he shows up wearing 91 because he knows his role. He's going to be Dennis Rodman. Blake Griffin,
Oklahoma
Boston,
legend.
I know. Boston Celtic. Can
we congratulate him? He just had a kid.
Yeah,
congratulations, Blake. He just had a son.
He did.
All seriousness, you guys. He's now a new father. Congratulations, Blake. It's a big moment.
All right. All right. Back to basketball.
That's the list.
He's wearing number 91
That's so atrocious to me.
out of
like
just
criminal.
for in honor of Dennis Rodman.
It would be like if THT showed up in 23 for Jordan.
No, it'd be like if THT showed up in 30 for Steph, because Blake Griffin doesn't really rebound anymore, doesn't really defend anymore, but that's what Dennis Rodman was known for. So it's a little confusing to me.
I'm blanking on the player. This just made me think
Yeah.
of this. Blanking on the player. I saw something the other day that was like so-and-so player wanted to wear 6 to honor Bill Russell. And my immediate reaction was, the reason they're retiring his number is so players like you can't wear it.
Yeah.
And I can't remember who, but that just made me think of, like, Blake Griffin does not deserve to wear 91 for Dennis Rodman. Come on, man.
He can wear 91 because, like, that was the year he was born in. But not...
Yeah, not because you want to be Dennis Rodman, dude.
Yeah.
Like, everything you're about, Dennis Rodman was not.
Like, maybe he's
Dennis
like...
Rodman was a bad dude now. Like, come on.
Maybe he's like Vader's Dennis Rodman.
Apparently, off the court recently, he's been channeling his inner Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, has been, hasn't he?
Getting out on the town.
So Oklahoma legends, Blake Griffin and Jalen Hurts.
Oh, by the way, it's Oklahoma week.
It is.
It is.
Oklahoma reeling off of...
Dude.
I was scrolling through the scores for football after I got back from hunting on Saturday, and I scroll by Oklahoma TCU, and I see 55-24, and I just kept scrolling. Don't do that. I'm scrolling through the scores. I don't even stop. I don't even slow down. I'm just like, Oklahama blew out TCU. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And then I'm like looking for a different score, so I'm going a little slower, and I see it. I'm like, no way. No way a Brett Venables defense gave up a 55-piece to TCU.
Maybe Brett Venables outkicked his coverage, flew too close to the sun.
It's going to be the greatest, worst football game of all time on Saturday?
No, because Quinn Ewers is going to come back. We're going to slice him and dice him. Their defense is going to look like Swiss cheese after a rat infestation. It's going to be the place to be.
I saw some tweet the other day. Sorry to keep quoting tweets, but Twitter's a wonderful place. It was like, I think, so every other Big 12 game this week features at least one ranked opponent except Oklahoma and Texas. And I think it was like CFB Reddit. Great follow if you're not following.
Super anti-Texas for no reason.
Tweeted out like, it's good to see the Big 12 cutting loose the dead weight in a couple of years. It was pretty good, but
ESPN did come out with their like probability maker for.
Where Kansas is ranked, right?
Kansas is ranked. They're 19, but they came out with their probability.
19. Shout out Kansas.
Yeah,
they came out with the probability maker for like the playoff odds and stuff like that. And if Texas wins out and wins the Big 12, they've got a 54% chance of being one of the top 4 teams in the country.
Okay.
Which actually isn't ridiculous.
You got Bama and Georgia.
Yep.
Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
Keep your eye on Michigan. Keep your eye on the loser of that game.
That's the issue.
Getting in, because Bama got in without winning a conference championship a few years ago, and that team might have an argument. USC is a very live dog, and I would say if you want to make a list of favorites in terms of the top 10 teams that could really make it, USC is in. So
that's fair.
Texas may have a tough time.
I mean, it's only
Clemson.
It's a 54% chance.
We're
coin
running
flip.
out.
It's a coin flip.
We're running out because you got Bama, Georgia, Ohio State, Clemson, Michigan, and USC. That's 6. That I think at worst all finish with 1, maybe 2 losses. But I can't see 2.
I can't see 2. But the thing is, Texas's 1 is Alabama, and right. Let's say Georgia and Alabama.
Texas says 2.
I know.
One of them's bad.
I know it's really bad.
Really bad.
But let's say Georgia and Alabama split, and Michigan and Ohio State split, and the conference championship, whoever wins that, it's ugly. It's a blowout. Essentially,
right, so let's say we get Ohio State wins the Big Ten.
Uh-huh.
They're in. Michigan's out.
Michigan's out.
Bama beats Georgia. Georgia's out.
Yeah.
So now you have 2. Clemson wins the ACC. They're in. Undefeated. Potentially. Or a 1-win Clemson
I
team.
am very hesitant about Clemson this year.
I don't know if they can go undefeated. That may be perhaps. But even a one-loss Clemson team with a big...
They have UNC trap game written all over them.
With an ACC title, though, it's probably going to get in.
It is.
Then it comes down to USC hold on to win the Pac-12. Or the Pac-12.
Yeah.
Because if they do, I think they get in.
But they're going to have to play Notre Dame. They're going to have to play Michigan. Do they play Michigan this year?
I don't think so.
No, they don't, do they?
Is Notre Dame their last big dog in the schedule? And Notre Dame's pretty far down.
Notre Dame's really far down.
The thing with USC is to take advantage of that defense, the Lincoln Riley special, and Notre Dame is not in position to do so.
Yeah, that's fair.
But
it's a coin flip.
it is a reasonable argument. If USC were to falter, they just almost lost to Oregon State.
If
you get a split with some of those other teams,
I feel like Clemson has the higher chance of faltering than USC, admittedly.
That might be true. I don't trust their offense.
Neither do I.
Yeah, they're a really good team, but
and the ACC is always weird.
The ACC is weird. Good old. I think they already played Georgia Tech, but a good old triple option Georgia Tech upset's always a lovely, lovely addition to any ACC season.
I saw.
So college football's fun this year.
I saw Georgia Tech play during the Calvin Johnson Demarius Thomas year.
That's fun.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
Did they throw the ball?
Rarely.
Why Calvin Johnson ended up at Georgia Tech places I cannot figure out.
Really quickly, do you know who the TCU offensive coordinator is?
No.
It is one Garrett Riley, brother of Lincoln
No
Riley.
way.
No, really? Yes.
No way. That's awesome.
Oh, and the other, I also realized that the current Auburn coach, Mike, is an ex-Texas coordinator under Mac Brown. So I just wanted to say I'm sorry because they were all
They're
terrible.
going to fire him.
Okay, that's
Yeah, they don't. I don't think he's going to make it through the year, but if he does, he's not getting the next season. They wanted to fire him after last 1 year in. They wanted to fire this guy. It apparently got ugly. I don't think he's a good recruiter. I don't think he's good with players.
I've heard he's not only a bad coach. We have questions about his character.
Yeah, no, I think he's a jerk. I don't think people enjoy being under his regime. And he was brought in to develop quarterbacks. They got TJ Finley was starting. There's some Daniel kid. I recognized the name when I saw it, but Auburn sound bad, guys. I don't even know. I know Tank Bigsby. I think he's hurt. I don't know anything. I like watching Auburn play. I can't watch them.
Hook 'em.
All right. Let's end it there. Thank you guys so much for listening. Leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment or review, share it with your friends, all that good stuff. Hashtag Year of Russ.
If you have any questions, feel free to email.
Email
in.
We don't have an email, but email in.
Congratulate Blake Griffin on his child.
Yeah.
Big news, people.
Follow @KaneJammer_ on Twitter.
Yes, do that
Yeah.
too.
And that's it. Thanks, guys, so much for listening. We'll be back next week. NBA season preview. Big one. Thanks, guys.